Before WandaVision, Wanda was an interesting enough side character in the Avengers and Captain America movies, but wasn't maximised to her full potential until she was the star of her own show. She's arguably the strongest Avenger, even managing to almost kill Thanos by herself. Wanda's future looks bright now that she has taken the mantle of the Scarlet Witch, as she's already been confirmed to have a major role in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, likely as a villain. We already know that Wanda will likely be trying to bring back her children Wiccan and Speed based on the post-credit scenes of WandaVision, and I wouldn't be surprised if her emotions get the better of her, turning Wanda into one of the MCU's greatest threats so far. The Ant-Man movies are often overlooked due to their small ramifications on the wider MCU. Both Ant-Man movies are a breath of fresh air from the rest of the MCU, as they can be their own thing and not have to heavily connect to the wider MCU universe. The main reason that the Ant-Man movies were so great is thanks to Paul Rudd and his strong comedic timing. I loved that he was one of the main characters in Endgame, and liked that he was the reason that the Avengers came back, thanks to his quantum realm knowledge. Even though Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is going to have larger ramifications on the wider MCU due to Kang's inclusion, I'm personally hoping it still has time to tell a compelling father and daughter story like in the previous two Ant-Man films. So many people hate Peter's strong connections to Tony Stark in Homecoming and Far From Home, and just want a traditional solo Spider-Man movie set in the MCU. No Way Home will be including Doctor Strange, who will have a similar role that Tony had in the two previous Spider-Man movies. Personally, I'm okay with this, as I love how everything is interconnected in the MCU, but I do think that the next batch of MCU Spider-Man movies should focus on Peter and his difficulties of being a superpowered teenager. Tom Holland is a perfect embodiment to who Spider-Man is meant to be, and acts more like a typical high schooler than both Tobey and Andrew did. Having Hawkeye at number 2, I know is an extremely unpopular opinion, but he's had one of the best character arcs in the MCU besides Iron Man. Clint started out as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, then became an Avenger, then settled down with his wife and family, then was brought back to fight for Team Cap, then became Ronin after his family disappeared because of the snap, and now is being given his own Disney Plus show. Although he is the only original Avenger not to receive a film, a 6-episode TV show will give us more time and story with Clint than we would have gotten in a Hawkeye film. Clint might not have any superpowers, unlike the other Avengers, but he's a mighty good archer. Iron Man is without question one of the greatest superheroes of all time. Tony is the character who has appeared in the most MCU movies and is the character who has gone through the most. When we first see Tony in Iron Man, he has no care in the world for anyone else, but throughout the MCU grows and starts to care for others, to the extent where by Endgame he is willing to sacrifice himself to save the world. Although it is unfortunate that we won't be seeing Tony again in the MCU, at least in his physical form, his death was the perfect ending to the Infinity Saga. Thanks for watching the video. Feel free to leave your favourite MCU heroes in the comment section below.